You have to be yourself in order for you to attract the right people in your life. If you're wondering why certain people and places and things make you feel uncomfortable, take a moment to self-reflect. So with that being said, welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Guidance, and let's just get straight into today's video. When it comes to you receiving the things that you want, you have to be in alignment with it. And a lot of people say that all the time, that all you have to do is be consistent. But what if I told you that in order for you to be consistent, you have to be aware? So in order for you to be aware of yourself, in order for you to realize what's working for you and what's not, is taking time to yourself. Being alone is not negative. Just because you are by yourself doesn't mean your value decreases or that you are unworthy or that there is something wrong with you. If you want to be in healthy relationships, if you want to be successful in life, speaking from experience, what has helped me along my healing journey was to isolate myself and realize what I liked about myself, what qualities do I value within myself, what are some things that I need to improve on, what are some areas where I, am complacent in. You have to make time for yourself to understand what is worthy of your time and energy. Everything and everybody is not for you, and the reason why a lot of people become distracted and they don't achieve their goals or receive the things that they want to do is because you're focusing and you're putting your time and energy and effort into things that are not serving you. So because there's no one size fit all when it comes to your healing journey, always take what resonates and leave everything else. But you have to realize when it comes to your life, you're allowed to like things that make you feel good and that make sense to you. Just because certain things make sense to you and make you feel good doesn't mean it's going to make sense to me or anybody else. So you never have to force anything or anybody in your life, but in order for you to not allow people, places, and things to distract you, you have to know who you are. So being alone, making time with yourself is how you're going to identify yourself. You get to define yourself. It doesn't matter what you've been exposed to, it doesn't matter what you've been taught, it doesn't matter what you see, it doesn't matter what you've heard, if it does not resonate with you. So, for example, a lot of us are programmed information based off of the resources, the knowledge, and the experiences in our environments based off of how we were raised. So, it's not to say that there's any right or wrong way, but just because certain things resonated with you at the age of 5 may not resonate with you at the age of 25, 35, or 15. You get to decide the information that you were instilled at an early age from your parents, from schools, from work, if this is what you want to continue to focus on, if this makes sense to you, or is this something that, it made sense in the past, it made sense then, but right now, if you're trying to change, you don't have to continue doing it, including surrounding yourself with people, places, and things that you were once familiar with. And I made a video about that. Letting go of the past is only difficult because you're refusing to do it. Like, being alone is not scary. Being alone allows you to be vulnerable, and in your vulnerability, you define your strengths, you define your weaknesses, you define what it is, your purpose, because there is nothing specifically that you have to do other than survive. And I talk about that all the time. You're always going to be in a sense of survivor mode because you have to take care of yourself. You have to live, regardless if you're wealthy or poor. It's a mindset, but without getting too distracted into that, I'll make that into a whole playlist within itself. You still have to show up for yourself. You still have to take care for yourself, but you get to decide what type of lifestyle you want to have. Some people want to live near the water. Some people want to live in the city. Some people want to live on a farm. Some people want to live off the grid. It's nothing wrong with being influenced and inspired by people, but you have to realize, what do you want to do? And as you are growing, as you are isolating yourself, as you're self-reflecting, you have this alone time. So not only are you going to evaluate how you feel, you're going to evaluate your mindset. And the whole purpose of you being yourself and staying true to yourself is attracting the things that are for you. The more you sit with yourself, the more you self-reflect, the more you identify your morals, your values, your beliefs, the more you can increase these areas, and the things that you want will start to come to you. So, for example, if you want to live on a farm and a lot of people around you want to live in the city, you have to be able to cut distance. Just because you distance yourself, just because you separate yourself, doesn't make you better or less than. It just means that, you know what, this is not the environment that you want to live in. So if you want to be a farmer and you want to plant your own food, you got to not be focusing on the people who live in the city and eat things within that. You know, like this is an analogy, this is an example. So it's like when it comes to your mental health, it's the same thing. There's no right or wrong way to heal yourself. So you have to take information that resonates with you, like listen to any and everybody and decide when it's not for you or when you don't need the advice. Same thing when it comes to your healing journey, which is your mental health as well, because it's psychologically, it's verbally, it's emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Same thing with your finances. Whatever you want to do, you have to be aware of it. So the second thing you need to do in order for you to remove distractions is learn to set boundaries. So as you are learning to be alone, as you're in your isolation period, learn to set boundaries. Make a list of things that you like. Make a list of things that you don't like. Make a list of non-negotiables. What are things you're willing to compromise? Are you willing to be open-minded? Are you willing to limit yourself? Are you willing to expand yourself? Are you willing to be open-minded? Life is about choices. So whatever choices make sense to you, because you have to show up for yourself. The only way the right people will be in your life is if you're doing what you're supposed to do. You cannot expect people, places, and things outside of you to give you peace and happiness. You're going to be disappointed, and not just that, especially in relationships that are intimate. A lot of people put all their time and energy, effort, and finances into other people, and then when things break up, when you guys break up, excuse me, or things don't last, people feel devastated and heartbroken, and they're upset, and they have regret and resentment and all these suppressed feelings. And when it's like, you don't need to lose yourself, and you have to realize that too when it comes to relationships. In order for you to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be an individual, and you both have to have, you know, similarities on the same page about what it is that you like. Now granted, nobody is the same, so you're not always going to agree with everybody. You're not always going to have the same perspectives, and you don't always have to, but you have to be compatible, enough to realize, okay, if this is going to work for us or not. But in order for you to, like I said, even focus on things outside of you, you need to know who you are. So take time to yourself, realize what you like about yourself, set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. You're not a bad person if you don't want to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, and also vocalize your boundaries. When you meet people, as you're getting to know people, slow down. Don't assume anything about them. Don't have expectations for people so you won't be disappointed. Set your boundaries in the beginning. In the beginning, when you're meeting people, let people know, these are my boundaries. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm going for. Have conversations. If you're willing to listen to how other people have their perspectives, do that. If not, if there's no common ground, remove it. Other people coming to you in your life, because some people are lost and they don't know who they are, or some people just want to choose chaos and violence, as people like to say. Just because somebody comes to you and tries to distract you doesn't mean you have to allow them into your energy. So once you realize somebody's trying to manipulate you or take advantage of you or doesn't have your best interest or is in alignment with you, you let them know this is not going to work. You can block people, you can unfollow people, you can cut communication. This does not make you a bad person. Nobody's going to be mad at you for setting boundaries, having alone time, and putting yourself first. You have to put yourself first. It's not selfish to be selfless. It's not selfish to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, yes, you're going to have family and friends and support if you have access to that, but they're not always going to be in your life forever. And you have to realize there are seasons and reasons. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, make sure you follow for more. Make sure you guys are giving this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Turn on your post notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All the information will be down in the description box below. And if you want a one-on-one session personally, head to my website at tygoddesssummer.com and let me know specific topics that you want me to go over, as well as on Instagram and TikTok. I go live. I post polls on my stories to let me know what you guys are interested in, as well as the community tab if you're new here. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. But you have to realize, in order for you to attract the right people, you have to be aware of yourself, and you have to set boundaries, and you have to be confident. So that's the last thing. I'll say two more things before I end up this video. Work on your confidence. If you have to dim your light to be around certain people, they're not for you. It doesn't matter how anybody else feels. If other people have low self-esteem and insecurities, internal issues, that is a personal problem. They have to work on it. There's nothing wrong with admiring and being inspired by people, but if people don't pour into you, if they don't uplift you, if they don't allow you to be seen, if people are not willing to accept you, you cannot change how people think. You can't change how people feel. That's why my videos are going to resonate with the people that are resonating with. If not, it's not for you. You don't have to make things complicated. You don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to be overwhelmed when you know who you are and you stand confidently. So what other people are talking about you? They're not worried about themselves. Other people wouldn't be envious and gossiping and worried about what you were doing if they pour that energy into themselves. And these people could do that because this could be you watching this video. It's nothing wrong with having low self-esteem. It's nothing wrong with being insecure once you realize where these insecurities stem from and coming up with solutions. And that's the same thing with you. In order for you to receive and be around the places and things that you want to be around, you have to be aware. You have to know that you're allowed to dress how you want to. Like, my hair is blue, I'm allowed to have blue hair. I'm allowed to have highlight. I'm not bothering anybody. If anybody doesn't like how I look, then they don't have to look at me. But people are going to, because like I said, they may be confused. That's fine. Keep your distance. I'm not a bad person for letting people know that I have certain standards and this is what I want. And if you're not able to meet me, then you can't force relationships. Why would you want to be in a relationship with somebody who you're not compatible with or you're not willing to get to know? If people already made up assumptions about you, or they expect certain things without getting to know you, or they believe information without getting to know you, once again, you don't have to change your mind. You don't have nothing to prove, and that person's not for you. Like, if people want to say things about you and it's not productive, or if they don't add any value into your life, you're just going to sit around people just to sit around them. Because years later, as the time goes by, you're going to have resentment and bitterness towards yourself. It's not even going to be about the people that you invested your time into. So be mindful of your time, be mindful of what you watch, be mindful of what you're listening in, and be very intentional when it comes to yourself. But in order for you to be around the right people, you have to be yourself. If you like anime, if you like to draw, if you like to roller skate, if you like to do hair, if you like to shop, if you like to go hiking, continue to surround yourself with those people who do those things. Even if people don't agree with you, they're not going to judge you. They're not going to make you feel bad about yourself. They're going to respect that. They're going to be like, wow, she likes to do this or he likes to do this. And they're either going to learn from you. They're going to want to continue to surround yourself, or they're going to say, you know what, I don't like this. And that's fine. If everyone learns how to mind their business, there's not going to be issues. But we can't worry about everybody else. We can only worry about ourselves. So make sure you like this video once again. Make sure you guys are turning on your post notifications. And happy, almost said happy Halloween. Happy October. It's a new month. Love you. Bye.